Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am doing some thrifted flips, taking a couple of my thrifted decor items and either upcycling into a different purpose or just making it prettier. If that's something you enjoy, then just keep watching. The birds are really chirpy today. Wow. I don't know if you guys are hearing that, but they're really loud today. Okay, so I am finishing up my guest/office everything room makeover. That video is finally coming next week, and these items are going to be used to finish that space. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video and seeing this all come together. I picked up this butcher block about a year ago. It was one of the first items I had ever thrifted, and I just had it in the shed. I have come up with many different ideas on what I wanted to do with this over that year, but it just sat. Of course, life happens and it gets put on the back burner, but I'm glad I did. In my last thrifting video, I shared this candle stand that I picked up at the thrift store, which was a little bit pricey. It was originally $30, but I paid $15. I'm putting these two together to make an end table. So the first thing I'm going to do is measure the center of the butcher block. Then I'm going to drill some holes into the candle stand so I can screw it on later. I'm also going to put some starter holes on the butcher block before I clean them both up and refinish them. So now that I have the holes done, I am going to go ahead and get this cleaned up and then spray paint. I'm leaning towards black. That's the idea that I originally had, but I've been going back and forth with whether I want to use this bronze color or maybe slightly golder base. I'm not sure. I'm leaning towards black though, but let's get this cleaned up. I want to refinish this in a walnut color. I am going to get started by just sanding it down, getting rid of all the scratches, get down to the raw wood. I'm starting with this 80 grit, and then I'm going to work my way up and then get to staining. There were some hairline spaces between the pieces of wood on this block, so I used some quick wood and filled in those areas. I then tested a couple different gel stains and oil finishes. I eventually decided on mixing two colors of the Lily Moon smoky gel stains. The next item is this little box. If you guys remember, I shared this on a previous thrift haul and I promised to share with you what I was going to do with it. The first thing I'm going to do is clean it up. For some reason, the thrift stores love putting a lot of that heavy duty tape on the items. The tape left quite a bit of that glue. I tried several things to take it off, but the only thing that eventually worked was this Goo Gone. It's pretty strong, but I was happy because it did eventually get it off. My plan is to cover this box with some leftover wallpaper that I have from a previous project. I'm going to use it on all the flat areas. Here I'm just giving everything a quick sanding and wiping off any excess dust. I do want to highlight the trimming around the bottom and around the top of the lid. I first tried this Danish oil. I didn't like it. It came out a little bit too dark. Then I used this transparent stain. I'll put the color here on the screen, I don't remember. I applied it around the edges on the lid and around the base of the box. This is an easy to use wallpaper. It's actually pre-pasted and paintable. I used this on a Ikea Besta unit that I refinished quite a while ago. If you missed that, I'll put it here on the screen or I'll put a link to that video in the description so you can catch up with that one. I wanted the lines to run across, so I just measured all the way around and then cut one strip to go all the way around the entire box. This part was a little tricky, much like wrapping a gift. I wanted to get that top part to lay nice and flat, so I cut it at different angles. I used some painter's tape to hold each side in place while I cut each section. I wanted to make sure it all laid nice and flat before I actually glued it on. Once I had the template made, I just brushed on some water to activate the glue. And then I carefully put it on, adding a little bit of pressure just to smooth it out, make sure there are no bubbles and that it fits perfectly. Once I had the wallpaper on, I found it fell a bit flat, so I decided to add a bit of metallic over the trims. I used a combination of rub and buff, Spanish copper and antique gold, and that really elevated the look of it. I also felt the white needed some character, so I watered down a bit of sample paint in an off-white color and then did a very light dry brush around the entire thing. So I've been trying out a couple of different handles. I have quite a collection now from doing furniture flipping, and I figured one of these may just work on the top of this. I don't like this. It looks like a drawer. Don't really like the look of that. This has a nice modern look to it. So this is an option. I also have this, because sometimes you buy hardware for furniture, you need 3 but it comes in a pack of 4, or you need 5 and it comes in a pack of 6, so you always end up with extras, plus the ones that you take off from the older furniture that you change. And you know, I typically keep all those old ones because you never know, they really come in handy when you're working on something else. This is also nice. I don't know, I think it's a little bit tall, but this can work. All these here are more for drawers and they're black. I don't think black would work. I have some gold ones here, but these are, look at the color of this one. It has that same dirty bronze look to it. I think this is perfect, and it has, I like the sleek look of it. I think it works perfectly with what we have going on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach this to the top. This last thrift flip is a quick and easy one. I picked up this little end table on Facebook Marketplace for $20. It was exactly what I had been looking for a little while. As you can see, it has quite a bit of scratches and wear, which I actually love about it. I do want to maintain some of the wear that's showing on it just to keep the character of the piece. So I'm just going to clean it up and do a very light refinish. I tried removing the hardware from the drawer before cleaning it. I was able to get one of the screws off, but struggled with the other one. I don't know how to explain it, but these older screws doesn't have much height in order for your screwdriver to really hold and turn. I tried for a bit and eventually just decided to leave it on there, clean the drawer as it is, and do everything else with it on. I'm using this Howard Restore Finish in the color Walnut. This is great for quick refinishes like this. There's no need to sand, you just rub it on and it removes a lot of the surface scratches. This took off just enough to maintain the character of this piece, yet it gave the wood a refreshed look. I also spruced up the handle with some rub and buff in the color Antique Gold. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed seeing these old thrifted items get new life again. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, and don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can see these items styled in their new location in the next video. See you guys then.